Alright, hey everyone, welcome to another Wildwitch RP Live Play TTRPG session. What is Wildwitch RP? Well, that's me, Faye, Game Master and Storyteller, and Lachlan, our writer and producer. We're a couple who love sharing stories, so much so that we quit our day jobs and created our own company. Now we create high quality and exciting TTRPG experiences full time and share them with you. And tonight, time zone. We're playing D&D. This session features D&D's Curse of Strahd, a journey into the heart of Barovia, where ancient curses, deadly intrigue, and the allure of Count Strahd von Zarovich await. Our heroes must brave the mists and confront the vampire lord himself, or be forever bound to his nightmarish domain. With us at the table, we have several of the incredible players who have joined us on our grand endeavor. If you'd like to play alongside them, you're more than welcome to join us. You can ask in chat or hop over to our Discord, where you can find out more information. Now, speaking of our awesome players, that means it's time for introductions. Like I said, I'm Faye, Game Master, Storyteller. With me is Sirenscape, bringing all of our background music and sound effects. It's a fantastic and affordable sound collection that you can find at sirenscape.com. And now, let us meet our courageous and daring heroes as they've paid a visit to the coffin maker's shop. And we'll begin with an introduction for Mogring.
Yeah, hey everybody, it's me, Thresh. I play Father Mograine Kilgore, follower of the twins, the true son. Here to spread the word and the truth.
Alright, heck yeah. Next up for our introductions, let's learn about Valen.
Hello everyone, I'm Connor. I'm playing Valen. He's a shadow sorcerer drow that hails from the Underdark, traveling the lands with his shadowhound companion Nyx, spelled Nyx. And right now his main journey is to find a way to free his land from curse rule and take the throne.
Alright, heck yeah. And then last but not least, let's learn about Jinx.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm playing Jinx. Jinx is a mischievous and curious black-haired tabaxi rogue inquisitive. This week's fun fact about Jinx, not Beth. I'm a different character, guys. He grew up in an orphanage, and when he felt he was old enough to strike out on his own, he left because he didn't quite feel like he fit in there. He didn't really see anyone else like him there. But the orphanage was run by a halfling couple that were super nice, very lovely people. And Jinx actually, when he's not in Barovia, still visits them from time to time.
Yeah. Well then, with no further ado, why don't we return to Barovia, where Jinx, you found a way in to the coffin maker's shop. I believe you had gone in through the back window.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you've called your companions over. So, what would you like to do?
We can get in through here.
Okay. And I shoot a look over at Father Kilgore, who I assume is wearing armor right now.
Yeah, very much so.
Going to be interesting. At
So
least we found.
try our best at this, but no grand promises about sneaking through a window here.
I'm not as dexterous as I used to be. I will.
Perhaps
try.
you sneak in and open a door for us to come through a little more quietly, and then from there we can assist further. And if there's any noise, we'll come in blasting down a door.
Sure. I could see if I can open the door from the inside.
I think that might be the wisest course of action here.
All right, I hop back in through the window.
All right. So, hopping back to the window, you go to the door you had noticed off to the west, and a quick test shows that this one is unlocked. And so, you're able to open the door, and let us get you the reveal on that. My log of war. You come to his workshop as you move through this door, and you would see everything that is needed for a carpenter to make coffins and furniture. 3 sturdy work tables stretching along the farthest wall, and the door that is the back entrance. From inside, you're able to unlock it fairly easily and open it for your companions.
If sorry, did you say that this door was unlocked?
It is now
Uh,
unlocked, yes.
Beautiful. Mograine will make his way in.
I'm in 2.
Alright, so you're all inside and able to see the workshop, but there is the door that leads to the kitchen that Jinx had found earlier. So, what's the next move? There was another door that Jinx you'd seen in the kitchen, and there's another door here in the workshop.
We want to check both at the same time, or just go through one?
I would want to stay grouped up. I've had enough of surprises.
Mograine will check this door.
It is unlocked, and if you proceed forward, you can see it leads to a larger room.
Yeah, we'll peek in. Which way does the door open? Is it opening from the left or the right?
It is left-hand side opens outward.
So the side I'm on opening outward. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I will look into the room from there to see if I can get more information before fully getting involved.
Okay, and I'll change what you're able to see. Nope, that's paint, not erase. As you peek out, you would see a large room that has coffins.
Interesting.
I mean, not really. This is
Mograine.
a shop.
Yeah, crazy. We'll step into the room, seeing that we see coffins at the very least in the coffin maker shop.
All right, so as you enter the main area of the coffin maker shop, you would in fact see coffins and the coffin maker. Henrik turns and as he hears footsteps, and his eyes are wide.
We believe you have something of the churches.
It's upstairs. It's all upstairs.
Could you be more specific as to where it is upstairs?
calling about you're here for the bones, you're not here for the other thing.
What other thing?
The vampire spawn. There's a whole nest of them up there. Chat has given you all +1 for your AC for the rest of the session.
All right.
Perfect timing.
That
That changes things. How many of these spawn are we talking?
So many. He spits on the ground.
Are they in the same room as these bones?
No, but close enough. The bones are in the bedroom. The spawn are in the storage.
why are there vampire spawn here?
I don't know for sure. I was just told to do it, and I did.
Just to make sure, like, is it like evening time right now?
No, it's about middle of the day. Because you went here fairly early, because you went to the orphanage first after your night. So I'd say it's close to afternoon, maybe getting close to evening time. No, because you went to the church as well.
Yeah.
So later afternoon, closer to evening time.
Okay.
Well, I guess the next best thing we could do is go up and deal with these ghouls and gremlins.
Are we at all equipped to deal with vampire spawn? Especially a nest of them? I say it's better if we just get the bones and leave.
What is to my right? Is this a staircase?
Yes, if you peek through that door while the other conversation is happening, you would see a staircase leading up to the next level.
Oh, looks like we have a baseboard to move up to.
Mm-hmm. So, if your intention is to just grab the bones and go, you'll want to go through the door to your right, so the western door. If you want to perhaps attempt to deal with vampire spawn, Your left hand.
Um, we agreed that we wanted just to get the bones and go, I guess, right? So we will walk through the western door.
A more furnished kitchen is presented here, and a door that leads further in. The next room you can enter is, in fact, Henrik's bedroom. You would see it is modest. There's a cot, well-made pieces of furniture, which include a table, a padded chair, a bookshelf, and a wardrobe. So, what do you want to do?
Did he say where in the bedroom specifically these bones are?
No, just in his bedroom. Would you like to give it a look? You can
Yeah.
investigate.
I can try. Oh, I have a negative modifier to investigation. But we'll... Nah, no.
Well, unfortunately, what you're able to tell is that the books on the bookshelf are quite aged. They seem to have been passed down through generations. You see storybooks and carpenter's manuals, but no bones.
I'm gonna need a little help looking in here.
I'll help.
Will as well.
All right. Investigation checks, or if there's any other checks you think might help, go for it. As you're looking around, there's no immediate signs of the bones that you can see. However, Jinx and Mograine, you two would notice something when you sort of investigate around the wardrobe. There, you seem to find a compartment that is hidden in the base.
Is it locked?
As you give a test, it does not appear to be locked. You're able to easily open it, revealing two sacks. One is a lot larger than the other.
Can I look in them?
You can. Do you start with the large one or the small one?
Whichever one was on top.
All right. We'll say the large one caught your attention first. And as you open them up, the large sack is the one that holds bones. You can only assume that these are the bones of St. Andrew's Church.
I found them. He'll hold the tobacco to the other two. Be like, see?
Well, if we have the bones, I say we don't stick around longer than we need to.
Very well. Let's just make our way out.
Okay, but I just want to look in the small sack first, though.
Alrighty. And as you look into the small sack, you would see a collection of coins. They all bear the profiled visage of Strahd von Zarovich, but they seem to be very legal timber that can be used.
Okay, I think we'll take that too. Why
Okay.
not?
You can add 30 silver pieces and 12 electrum to your wealth. So, from here, you're able to leave. You've accomplished your business. I'm assuming you would head back towards the church.
Yes.
Something
Then
went wrong.
something went wrong?
That's what it says on my maps.
What? Try refreshing.
If you refresh it, it'll work.
Okay.
If it doesn't, I'll cry. Live on stream.
There we go.
Hey, there we go. Alright. Because it's starting to get later into the evening. Where is my dice roller? Oh, there it is. Alright. The church is more populated when you return than when you had left earlier this day. But other than that, it seems much the same.
We found your relic. Oh, wait, well, I guess it would be better if I was in the building before I announced that. is what we will say. We have found your holy relic.
As you say this, and you would notice that Lucian is speaking out to Congress that has gathered here. You would notice frightened figures, all sort of spread throughout the church. And as Lucian looks up towards the back as you speak out, step forward, please.
Not to sprint down this corridor, but we'll make our way up there.
I don't know, it'd be a lot more intimidating if you did sprint full armor. He steps from behind the altar and please. The bones.
Believe Jinx has them, so I will step aside for the true delivery.
I think we'll hand over the sack full of the bones.
Alright, he takes the bones and there is an immediate relief upon his face. Before, he will, bring them, behind the altar and, I do not have much in the way of reward for this. But by returning the bones of Saint Andro, you have created a space protected once more. A space where you will be welcome always.
Thank you, Father. It's no trouble at all.
We heard from the coffin maker that there are vampires spawn in his building. Have you seen any similar issues or instances of this? Alternatively, how could they be there if these bones are to do what they are supposed to?
They are to do what they are supposed to upon the holy ground of the Morning Lord. But I have not seen anything myself, and hopefully it will stay as such. But I thank you for the awareness. I will spread the word. Hopefully in a way that will not create panic and catch the eye of the Burgermeister.
Does this mean you'll be able to deal with the relic as well? The locket?
It will be in a way where it cannot harm another under the spell. Whatever it is affecting the creature, it will be remained as such, at least under protections of the Morning Lord.
Father, if I may ask, do you know why there are so many wolf heads across town? We've seen quite a few of them.
One of the Burgermeister's celebrations, the Wolfhead Jamboree, he called it.
That just seems a little weird. Did it? What exactly was the purpose?
To bring the joy to Valaki. He holds many festivals. There is one in preparation right now.
Another one.
They are a weekly occurrence, it seems.
You know exactly what this next one is supposed to be.
There have been flyers beginning to be posted around the town. It speaks of the blazing sun. They are building some sort of effigy. If you are wanting more information, I suggest you seek out the Burgermeister himself, or perhaps his closest assistant. Would be a word I could call him.
I don't have anything else.
As it is getting later, do you spend your evening in the church, or do you take the risk to get back to the inn?
I'm down to go back.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much more for us to do here.
We should probably check on Irina.
Yeah, Irina was left in the inn alone all day.
All right, well, let's make our way on out of here.
Yeah. Alrighty. No, now something went wrong on my end.
It all went to hell.
You just gotta refresh it again.
Yeah.
Oh, there
No.
we go. All right, we're back.
Well, it was me that had the problem this time. All right. So you are. Excuse me. Um, you're all able to return to the inn. You all on the ground floor. And you would see that Irina is present amongst the figures in the main eating area. Again, collection of townsfolk and the proprietors. What do you do?
I think it's time for a drink and a bite to eat.
It's definitely something you can accomplish here.
Consider we've been out all day.
Yeah. Remember that you've got bread and beet soup included as part of your room, but if you'd like a wolf steak, you can get a little extra.
I'll order the protein today
All right.
and an ale.
All right. The wolf steak is going to be one electrum. As you ask for an ale, Danica, well, I'll see if we've got any in the back. We mostly serve wine, but I'm sure we might have something.
Wine would be fine.
And 3 copper pieces for our purple grape mash number 3.
Just a gold on the table.
All right. And she takes that and it'll cover you for refills until you're done, and I'll get you change.
Keep the change. I appreciate it.
And we appreciate you, sir. And she'll go and get the a tankard for you and fill it up with the wine. Valen, Jinx, do you partake in any wolf steak or wine this evening?
Not tonight.
Just bread and beet soup.
Yep.
Okay.
Jinx will have a wolf steak and some wine. So he'll put an electrum and a silver on the bar. Pay for that.
A silver can get you the more high class wine of Red Dragon and Crush.
Oh, why not?
Alright, so. You're able to enjoy your meal. There are figures around you talking, most of them cursing the, you know, situations with the transferring festivals in and out. But they do it in hushed tones. Perhaps it is not something to be talked about so loudly.
Faye, I don't have my notes with me 'cause I'm
Mm-hmm.
traveling, but I'm trying to remember, were these 2 hunters that are also in here possibly the ones that were paid to look for the missing boys?
You have not yet spoken to those 2 hunters, so potentially they could be.
'Cause I think I had written down that there were two people that were supposed to be looking for them, but I don't think we knew exactly who they were.
Yeah, Milovaj mentioned the names to you, and uh, Yevhengi and Solstar were what you had.
Right.
If you would like, you can approach and talk.
I think they'd probably turn around in his chair and be like, "Hey, do you guys know where Ivengi?
Uh, uh,
Ivengi.
yeah,
No,
Evgeny. Um,
Evgeny.
Yevgeny. Yeah, Yevgeny. And
Hey, do you guys know this guy?
as you turn, the one that has this patchwork cloak of different sort of leathers, and yeah, I'm Yevgeny.
Oh, hi, I'm Jing. I understand you were tasked with trying to find some missing boys, Hans and Franz. I think there was the third guy. I can't remember the name though. That's
Laszlo.
Caitlin. That's not Jing. Laszlo. Yes, thank you.
I got you. I got notes.
So do I. They're not with me.
uh, the other one, the one that you can sort of assume is Sholstar, sort of tenses up, and yes, we were paid for that.
Did, did you find anything?
We had tried to, but no, we were unable to find the boys, if that's what you were asking.
Did, did the trail just run cold?
It went farther than what we would be able to comfortably travel. There are things out in the forests that are more dangerous than wolves.
Yeah, I can believe that. What direction were they headed?
And they had gone out into the woods. From there, they could go anywhere.
I see.
I'm trying to remember, were these the same hunters that also got tasked with the bones as well?
No,
Okay.
no, the hunters weren't tasked with the bones. Milovaj stole the bones to pay Henrik, or to sell them to Henrik, so that he could pay the hunters.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Can I insight check them to see if I think if they're hiding anything from me?
Go ahead.
Oh, that was almost amazing, but it's only a 13.
13, they just seem very bristly, but they don't seem to be deceptive.
Okay. Jigs will nod at them in thanks and then turn around and try to make himself as less noticeable as possible because he isn't normally that outgoing because he looks different and doesn't want to draw attention to himself, but he made an exception for the boys.
Go ahead. If anyone, since you'd all have been able to overhear this conversation, if anyone wants to roll an insight check here. Balin.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they did make an attempt to try and find the boys. Even if they perhaps weren't successful, which, I mean, if the boys are still missing, that seems to be the case. You can always see they can at least bring you as far as they were able to get.
Well, if you're having trouble looking for the boys, maybe we could be of assistance.
Again, you would see them sort of bristle and tense up, and roll a persuasion check.
Oh, this is tied for my highest stat. Come on, be good. Natural 20.
As tensions might start to spark here between them and your group. They look to each other and seem to not let it overflow. If you want to test your skill in the woods, fine. But if you perish, it will not be blood we will worry about.
I won't speak for the others, but that's fine by me.
And rest up. As soon as dawn's light is over the horizon, we head out.
Understood.
Alright. Is there anything else you partake in besides dinner and this conversation?
I'm good.
Okay. Then, as dinner ends and you can make your way back to your room, Nothing seems amiss.
Okay.
Yes.
And I open up the trunk that was at the foot of Jinx's bed from the night before.
You can, yes.
Is there a creepy unfinished doll in there? Because I'm pretty sure I watched it turn to ashes.
You did watch it turn to ashes.
I did. Yeah, I did. Is it in here?
No, it's empty.
Oh god. Thank goodness.
Alright. So, as you're able then to take your rest, it is unmarred by any strange dreams or nightmares, at least for this evening. So you can take your long rest easily. And as you can complete your rest, we will see what the next day brings after upcoming ad break. So, please hang out with us. We'll be right back to continue along with our combat, or not combat, wow. Our story.
Spoiler.
Right? Now we gotta roll initiative now. We'll continue with our story, but before we head out, I do ask that you just let the ads run. They help us at Will to Witch RP. Another great way of supporting us is direct donations. Those can be done at my Ko-fi. Link for that's on screen and in our chat room, but we will see you all very soon. Once more, it is morning in Barovia. You've all had a long rest. And the hunters told you that when dawn's light crossed the horizon, it'd be time to set out. Are there any preparations you make this morning?
I'm very wisely going to cast mage armor on myself before we leave.
All right.
Good for 8 hours.
As you meet the two hunters, which I can now change their names to properly reflect their identities. They're waiting for you just outside. And when you come down the stairs, you would see them waiting to set out.
We'll make our way up to join them.
Okay. Then you will all set out on a bit of a walk. As you are brought to the northern edge of the town. It takes some time to travel. During this time, you can ruminate or have conversations, either amongst yourselves or asking questions of your guides. You don't have to, though. This is just a thing that can be done. Eventually, Sirenscape falls. Let's get Sirenscape back here real quick. Alright. Eventually, you would start to see beyond the woods a gleam of water. A large lake in the distance that the hunters are leading you towards. So, when you exit from the space off the forest track, you would notice something. The first thing is that the water is perfectly still. It's dark. It reflects black clouds overhead like some monstrous mirror. And there are rowboats that are pulled up along its southern shore. And you would notice a fourth figure in the middle, or a fourth boat in the middle of the lake with a lone figure that is sitting in it, a fishing pole in hand. The hunters don't give much mind to what is seen. They just continue to walk further towards along the southern shores off in a western direction.
Okay, so they're clearly not done showing us where they
No,
tracked the boys to.
they are not. As you're following along, I'm going to ask for you know what? No. I'm going to take some time to do some DM snooping.
Okay.
Mulgrain and Jinx. The two of you would notice this as you're sort of reaching the crossover the river, where there's a small bridge to bring you across. That the man in the boat is moving. He's picking up something from the bottom of his boat, and it's quite large. And you kind of see this out of the corner of your eye.
tell what it is?
Turning your attention, you would notice what could have been mistaken as some sort of large sack is actually a girl. She's tied up, and you can tell that she is a Vistana. And it is very obvious to you that he is about to throw her into the lake.
Oh my god.
Perhaps we should stop this.
Yeah.
There are other rowboats that you can go. You'd have to run back to grab them, but that's something you can do.
I would have been made aware of this, yes, since I didn't see it.
Jinx
Uh,
would be like tugging on your your sleeve and pointing.
Yeah, happy to share info.
All right. Then I'm going to ask for an athletics check to try and get to this child.
From everybody.
Anyone who's trying to get there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I rolled pretty good.
Wow.
Holy shit, we all did.
We're saving this kid today.
So, you all work together to get one of the rowboats in a area where you can set out quickly. You cover the distance in a frenzy. He was about 400 feet away, but it passes by in your adrenaline with barely anything between breaths and blinks. And who amongst you is going to dive into the water? Or would
Well,
you all make the
I will.
jump?
Jinx loves swimming. I think I said that in a previous fun fact.
Well, if Jinx is sort of primed and ready to go, you dive into the still water, following the bubbled trails, and you're able to grab the girl and break the air, and you can remove her gags. That way she can breathe easier. She's gasping, but you can get her onto the boat easily. The man in his own boat seems despondent, just clutching the fishing pole tight as this is all happening. He does nothing to try and thwart, nothing to try and assist, just stares at the water.
Can I try and get a read on him?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
23.
He is unkempt. There is a disarray and grime to his clothes. His eyes are baggy and red, and he seems hollow in the way that he is holding himself, as if he's broken under the weight of despair and Yeah. That's what you'd be able to get.
Are we all traveling in the same rowboat?
I would say your group is in the same rowboat, yes.
Oh, we're all in the same
Okay.
boat?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
So, if you don't interact with the fisherman, he doesn't try and interact with you, meaning that you can bring the child back to the shore where you can, of course, see the two huntsmen waiting for you.
How old is this girl?
She's fairly young. You could probably ask her now that she's been ungagged. And I'm assuming you do untie her as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, she pushes her raven black hair out of her face. It's dripping wet, and it because of that, it really makes the alabaster of her skin seem colder, corpse-like. Um, Thank you. I need to go home now.
What was the meaning of it?
I don't know. He took me.
Where is your home? In town?
No. Vistani aren't allowed in Valaki. But there's a camp outside of it. My father, his name's Luvash. He kind of leads it. He can give you a reward. But I need to be back.
I'll look to the others and say, well, I don't see why we can't help escort you.
I believe it would be the responsible thing to do.
Thanks, Nod.
We'll just have to stay outside of town since Vistani aren't allowed in there.
As you are talking, the hunters once kind of come together. The camp and where we had our trail are in two separate areas, both in the western, but one is more west, the other is southwest. If you must travel with the child, we can point you in the direction.
I think right now getting the girl back is more important.
We will not be here when you return. We have work to do.
Perhaps we could convince you to join us if we offered you some of the reward. Since that would constitute work.
And if this figure does not offer a reward for the child, what then? Do you have anything else you can offer us?
The girl has promised one, but I suppose we could work something out.
I do not put much weight in the words of a child. Roll a persuasion check here.
Okay. Hmm.
It does not seem that they are perhaps quite willing to go off of the promise of split rewards after the fact. It seems that perhaps they're more convinced of tried and true methods.
We don't have a map, do we?
No, not really. I've been walking the main roads.
I'm sure we could get a map from whoever we deliver this girl to.
I was just thinking if we had one, maybe the hunters could mark on the map where
Right.
they track the boys to, but we don't have one.
Well, without any, it seems, to at least to the hunters, worthwhile promises, they are going to set off for their day's work. Which leaves you with the child.
Did they give us any kind of verbal description before they left?
They told you into the western woods. They said it was west and southwest, with the Vistani's camp being to the southwest, and theirs being more due
Okay.
west. So, you have woods and due west. Does not seem that they traveled along a main road. So, when you set out, you can skirt around a Valaki walled area until you are brought to a small path in the southwestern woods. Hmm. Alright, there you guys are. You come to this very expansive clearing, a small grass-covered hill. There are low houses that are built into its sides, but there is fog that obscures the details. But even still, you see the buildings feature elegantly carved woodwork. There's decorative lanterns that hang from their sculpted eaves. And atop the hill, above the fog, you see a ring of barrel-topped wagons. They surround a larger tent. You see a column of smoke that pours out from a hole in the top. It is brightly lit from within, and even at this distance, you can smell the odors of wine and horses that emanate out of the central area. And at the bottom of the map, you can kind of see a bit of a visual of how it looks when you approach. So, as you walk forward, what would you do?
Um, I guess the best option is to walk toward the camp.
All right. The child whose name you would learn by now is,
For itty bitty.
her name is, I believe, Arabella? Arabelle, sorry. Um, she's sort of walking along, has wrung dry her clothes as best as she can, and seems to, despite the situation that you found her in, holds herself um, with a semblance of confidence or grace. Her shoulders even, her head sort of forward. Uh, very different than some of the other children you've come across so far. We need to go to the big camp. The one in the center. The tent, not the wagons.
Very well.
And so, as you pass by the houses in the grounds as you move your way up the hill, you would notice a figure in front of the door to one of the houses. Gray cloaked, very grim. Just seems to be keeping a lookout, perhaps a guard of some sort, but he doesn't seem to be Vistana, as his clothes are much more muted than the colorful cloths you've seen on Vistani so far. Following up the trail brings you past the collection of carts as Arabelle sort of almost leads your group. She doesn't walk further ahead of you all, but she has made herself and where she needs to go very clear. And as you approach, you would notice that outside, you would notice the several empty casks of wine. Inside the tent, you hear the crack of a whip and the howls of some figure on its receding end. As you get closer, there are sputtering campfires, 3 of them, that fill this tent with smoke. Through the haze, you see 6 Vistani passed out in various places upon the dead grass. And there is a young man, seems barely conscious, shirtless, that is hung at the center tent pole. His wrists bound with rope, and his back is streaked with blood. An older and larger man in leather armor lashes at the man with this whip. You can hear another yowl once more. And in the bigger man's shadow, there is a third man, also clad in leather. And you hear the voice, "Easy, brother. I think Alexei has learned his lesson." There is very little time. Oh, go ahead.
I'll be the one to call out. Excuse me.
As the figures turn, it is just as Arabelle is leaving the sides of your group as she approaches. The whip-bearing man, and will wrap her arms around him as he drops the whip and will pick her up. It seems that that is her father. The other man, the smaller one that was in the shadow, will walk over. Oh, you have done a great service, and I don't think you even truly know. Welcome. I am Aragol, and that is my brother Luvash. It seems you have found a missing Arabelle.
We found her just in time, too. She was out in the middle of the lake, just outside of Valaki, with some unknown man.
At this point, Luvash comes over, shutting Arabelle down. And who exactly is this man? You say that he is unknown, but you have seen him. You could describe him.
I'll look to my comrades to help describe him. They got a better look than I did.
That is, if anyone wants to describe this man to Luvash, you don't have to.
I'll give my best recollection of what was available.
Roll for me a history check to see how well that recollection is.
Fair enough. Not very good.
Yeah, I'll try.
He was in a fishing boat.
Not much better.
I mean, Jinx got a pretty good look. He got a read on him, so he would try as well.
And Luvash will nod. It's a very grim and grave gesture from the man.
Jinx would have thrown in some of his observations as well from his insight check.
I'm glad that Arabelle has been returned. Even if we did not ask you, you have done great service, and that deserves to be rewarded. Come, follow me. Aragol, deal with Alexei. Aragol will give a sort of nod to his brother and goes to let down the young man from the central pole. Meanwhile, you can follow where Luvash leads. Arabelle sort of follows at his heel in his shadow. And as you are brought out to the wagon, once my brother joins us here, you will allow to pick your reward. So, It's a few minutes, but Aragol will come, and each of them produces a key to unlock this wagon, and as the doors open, you can see a collection of different items within, and these are what we have to offer. You were able to select something as your group to take as a treasure for what you have done. One selection for the three of you, though. I cannot give away everything we have. Perusing what is on offer, you see a wooden chest containing a lot of electrum, each coin stamped with that profiled visage of Strahd. There's an iron chest filled with not as many coins, but these ones are made of gold. There is an onyx jewelry box with gold filigree filled with jewelries and a potion of some sort in a crystal vial. There's a wooden throne with gold inlay and decorative stones. A rolled up rug, which, as you kind of unfurl it, you see it bears an exquisite unicorn motif. There is also a wooden box containing 12 potions in stoppered gourds, but Luvash will tell you that those potions are not as potent, and you don't need to worry about them.
My vote would be for the gold. The iron chest.
Do Jinx and Mograine have any objections or interests in anything else?
Sorry. I spaced out. My fault.
The treasure that is your group can pick, Valen has put forth going for the iron chest filled with the gold.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't have any objections. Was there one chest that had a whole bunch of potions in it?
Yes, there was 12 potions, but Luvash said to perhaps steer away from them as they're not as potent.
Oh, I see.
Rescued his daughter. He's trying to keep you guys in good standings. Oh. But yeah, if you select the iron chest, you're able to remove that and put it amongst your group. So within it, you can spend some time going over what you have received. It is 650 gold pieces. And then the chest that it came in.
150?
650.
Oh, 650. Jeez Louise.
So, besides the um, treasure that you are offered here, Luvash lets you know that you are welcome to stay in their camp for rest. Um, and that he will alert the others that stay in this camp of the good deed that you have done. Perhaps if you are wishing for something more above your heads, if you choose to rest here, you can speak to one of the Dusk Elves. I believe that they might be able to accommodate you in one of their houses as guests.
Dusk elves?
They are not quite the same as you, but they are the only elves that are in this area. Perhaps there is some kinship shared.
And we left during the morning, so it would probably be about daytime right now.
Yeah, it's with the amount of areas that you have walked, it's about mid-afternoon. You did recall seeing that one figure in the gray cloak.
They were at the entrance to the camp.
They were in front of one of the houses closer to the base of the hill, yeah.
Um, I wouldn't mind a chat. I'm kind of intrigued now.
Alright. As you set out, the elven figure, as you get closer, he does not look perhaps as friendly or welcoming as other strangers in your past may have. A very dour expression has come to be expected from those here in Barovia, but this one is also suited with a sense of duty. He is, it seems, a guard. But he does not shoo you off. Do you say anything?
I do. Just I'll just be honest. I just forgot the name of the person who told me about the Dusky Elves, but
Luvash.
Luvash said there were other elves here, Dusk Elves, and seeing as how I haven't come across any others in my time here, I figure I'd come see for myself.
Well, I do not have time for conversations. I'm still on the job, but perhaps you can talk to Casimir.
I'll give a nod and say that's fine.
Okay. You are directed as a group to the southern house. I'm told that that is where you'll find Casimir.
Uh, well, if we're right outside, I'll go up and knock, I guess.
Well, it'll take some time to walk around because it's on the other side of the hill, but
Oh.
I've moved you all down towards it now. Nope. You were right in front of the door. There you go.
Okay.
So as you approach and will make a knock on the door, we will see if there's a response after our upcoming ad break. So, hang out with us. We'll be right back to continue along with our story. Before we head out, I do ask that you let the ads run. They help us here at Will to Witch RP. If you'd like to make direct donations, those can happen at my Ko-fi. Link for that's on screen and in our chat room. So stick around, and we'll see you all very soon. Alrighty. Oh, need to resume that. We are back, and as we return, you're able to knock on the door. And as you do so, I would like perception checks here. Valen and Mograine, the two of you would definitely hear this. A quiet conversation coming to an end. The door would open, and you would see a figure, and then two, and then finally a third step out of this house. Gray cloaked, sullen. They have angular features, and their black flowing hair is half hidden under the cowls as they pull them and draw them close. These guards step out and will take a position around the house. And a voice calls, "Come inside."
Yep. I'll open the door then.
Alright. Well, you can follow behind the door as the guards come out and head in their wake. What you see is a fairly decorated space. Comfortable. There's a fireplace. Wooden statuettes stand in cubby holes along one of the walls. There's a tapestry of a forest that hangs upon the opposite wall. And then there's a figure here who wears his cowl up even in the comfort of the home. It's perhaps the Casimir you have been told to find.
I take it you are Casimir, correct?
Casimir Velikov. Yes, that is I.
Uh, Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. I'm Valen, and these are my compatriots. This is Mograine, and this is Jinx.
Mowgli will give a slight bow.
We just came from the Vistani camp. We helped return Annabelle safely, and they have allowed us to stay either in the camp or with the Dusk Elves, which I assume you are one.
One of the few remaining, yes. And it's good to know that Arabelle has returned. Once those that have been sent out for the hunt come back, I will let them know that they no longer must search.
part of the reason we're here, other than maybe to uh, get lodgings to stay at, is as an elf myself, though from a much completely different place. We have not seen very many different species here, and upon hearing that there were other elves, I had to come see for myself.
Well, you will find us perhaps lacking. Yes, we are elves, but we are dwindling.
How did you come across the Vistani, if I may ask?
What do you know of Barovia? Of its existence?
Not much. We were transported here by mists and have only been to a couple towns, but everyone keeps talking about a figure named Strahd.
Strahd rules over this land, and has for centuries. He almost annihilated our people under his armies. My people surrendered. The survivors of that instance were left to the Vistani. They were the ones who bore us to the valley of Barovia. Here. And it is where we have remained since. Even still, such a strenuous beginning between two peoples. There are friends that can be made. And you can see that his face seems to fill with a look of reminiscence, as if he's remembering something.
What happened to your people?
Strahd. Strahd happened to all people. My sister was taken by him. And instead of seeing her become some concubine of the devil, some of the Dusk Elves took it upon themselves to make sure she never made it to him. She was stoned until death. And Strahd's retaliation was to slaughter all of the women.
You can see Valen kind of fighting back in anger himself a bit. Did Casimir say this woman's, what was her name again?
He didn't say. He just said that it was
Oh.
his sister.
Oh. What was your sister's name?
Petrina. Petrina Velikovna. As you're having this conversation, Milgrave,
Yes.
a memory comes to you. A recent one. The reading from the woman, Madame Eva. She mentioned a wounded elf has what you seek, and will part with the treasure to see his dark dreams fulfilled. So far, you've not seen many other elves.
What do you seek, friend?
His eyes turn to you. They're now sharp. Why is it that you ask?
Because I believe we've had previous acquaintances with others that leads me to believe that we can help you and you can help us.
Roll a persuasion check here.
I'll hop in if I need to.
16. There's a quiet. He seems to think about what you say, and then he gives a release of breath, and some of that tension eases away. There is something that I seek, yes. There is a place known as the Amber Temple. I need to go there and seek if there's something to bring Petrina back from the dirt.
Where is this Amber Temple?
I will show it to you. I will give you what I believe you are here to seek for, if you promise to accompany me to the Amber Temple, to help me find a way to bring Petrina back.
I believe these terms are agreeable.
I'll agree.
Then he will nod and go over to a portion of his wall with the copies of the wooden carvings, and he brings out an item about the same size as one of those carvings wrapped in fabric, and will present it towards you, Milbrain.
I will humbly accept.
Okay. DM shenanigans here. And Milgrain, you should see that item in your pack now. If you do a
Awesome,
little
thank you.
refresh. Um, I must say that I would be eager to head out as soon as I can. And I do not know if that is within your capabilities of traveling, if you are in capabilities of heading out so soon.
They've had long travels, yes.
When the others have returned, I will be able to see about making arrangements for you to stay as guests in one of the houses.
Thank you.
So, after that, you are able to spend some time around the camp. You can do your own thing at this time. If Milgrain would perhaps like to look a bit closer at the hilt that he has received, that is.
Absolutely, I will study that.
All right. It is during this time you'd of course notice as figures begin to come back, perhaps from unfruitful searching for the missing Vistani child. But eventually, if your intention, Milgrain, was to attune, you can attune to that item. Otherwise, you can just learn a bit about it.
For now, I would like to learn a bit about it.
Okay. What you would learn is this is a magical blade of some sort. It would require a closer attunement process to conjure its actual blade itself. Um, there seems to be a hidden personality within it, something just beneath the surface. But that is what you would be able to discern.
Looking over this, um, do Valen or Jinx use long swords?
I do not know.
I do not.
Interesting. Okay, so very well. I will hold on to this for now.
I will say, because of the properties, if you are proficient with either short swords or long swords, you are proficient with this weapon.
Does that change anyone's answer?
I have short sword proficiency.
I have simple weapon proficiency.
I'll pass this off to Jinx.
Okay, and I will do some DM shenaniganry.
Cool, cool, cool.
Alrighty, and then Jinx. I'll make a better version of that, so that way it includes all of its details, but that is what you receive. After some time passing, do you do anything? Do you partake in any sort of uh, talking with or other forms of engagement with the Vishani above? Do you spend time amongst yourselves? I know that Mograine was looking over the blade hilt. Do you recall you still had the missing boys that you were following? Do you talk about your intentions there?
I would think during the free time, like if they find an area for sitting or somewhere, you catch Valen just kind of like in this pondering stance, because I just completely forgot his name. Casimir's words kind of got to him. Like the situation here is kind of similar to his situation back home. And he's trying to find a way to free his people in a way. And it looks like it's a similar type of situation. Yeah, so he'd be pondering all of that, and if somebody were to look hard enough, could probably strike up a conversation with them about it.
It is not long after your discoveries, after people come back, that evening begins to truly fall. A danger begins to appear. Not visually, but you can feel it. And it has been arranged for you all to be able to spend the evening in one of the dusk elf hovels. As you begin to rest, roll for me perception checks, please. Phelan would hear this. Phelan,
Mm-hmm.
you hear outside a fluttering of wings. A lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Just outside the door.
Outside the hovel. It could be above, but you hear it from outside. It's gotta be pretty close if you can hear this well.
Yeah. I don't know if my other companions are asleep or not, but if they are, I'll wake them or at least bring their attention to it.
Alright, so as Mograine and Jinx, you are made aware that there is some sort of sound of wings outside as you try and listen. That fluttering seems to have stopped.
Whatever it is, it's decided to stay here.
I just want to make sure it's nothing before I go back into my trance. I'm gonna check it out.
As you go and you say this, you would all hear from the ceiling, meaning something above you, what sounds like a footstep, and then another.
I'll stop before I get outside.
Another footstep. Another one.
It's above us.
By the sound of it, it's someone.
You can still go investigate if you so wish, I mean.
Yeah, I will.
You step outside. And the night is cold, dark. No moon present to fill the evening sky. The fires have started to burn low. They do not cast as much light down here at the base of the hill. But your eyes do not require them. You have to step further away from the hovel to get a visual of its rooftop. As you stand underneath the night sky, peering at the roof to see what is there, you don't see anything until you are surrounded by a swarm of circling bats. Do you do anything, Valen, as this sort of cyclone of bats surround you, screeching and yowling? Mograine and Jinx, you'd be able to hear this clearly.
Clearly, something's wrong.
Try a spell, but I'm not sure what I got in here is appropriate. Are they like biting me, or are they just like surrounding me?
They're just surrounding you. It's just a screech of different bats.
It's. Let's try and peer through and see if I can see anything through the swarm.
I mean, it's the same way you'd be able to peer through it. You can't see clearly because you have all these moving physical bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you still see the hovel that you had left. You don't see anyone atop of it, but you see the light that spills from the open door.
Okay. Yeah, I want to get these things away from me.
Cast a spell, you know you want to.
I don't have fireball. That's what you're wondering.
No. Whatever spell you're thinking about casting, go ahead and do it.
Am I aware of this situation as well?
Yeah, you would have been able to hear it and can come out and see it.
Um, can I do a channel divinity, please?
Uh, you can certainly try. What sort of channel
Uh,
divinity are we looking at?
we're looking for Radiance of the Dawn.
All right. Okay. So that is a con save.
It's please, please.
What's your DC?
And I'll go ahead and roll that if it makes sense too. But
Well, what's your DC first?
13.
13. All right, well, that's a successful con save. But you still get the uh energies off, but
Light and half damage.
yep. What happens here is that as you present the holy symbol and as the light of the true sun fills this area, it is but for a moment before it is dampened and you feel a cold steel grasp upon your wrist, the one with the holy symbol. Balin, the bats are no longer around you. And Mograine, you are staring at a face, watching as minor burns knit themselves back together. Some familiar figure, though so far you've only seen his face printed on coins, as his red eyes glare down at you. No way to treat a host.
Perhaps another time would be best to visit them.
You are already visitors in my home. Seems perhaps you have more manners yet to learn. As he looks off, he looks in the direction that you can see the outline of the far distance, the castle Ravenloft. Be careful with invoking such rude powers. And he'll release the wrist. And in a swarm of bats leaves, taking off towards the castle.
How far away would I have been from all this?
Or maybe like 10 feet.
Um,
Not far at all. You definitely have seen exactly what had happened, just from the other side.
Could I clearly make out this person's face from where I was?
Not from where you had been directly standing, but you'd have been able to move, to be able to find it, to be able to see that same sort of profile visage.
I will, with the bats gone and whoever that figure was, I will run up to Milgrain. Milgrain, who was that?
Believe that was Strahd.
The Strahd, the one everyone keeps talking about.
I believe that was him, yes.
I'm surprised he didn't kill us.
I'm sure it's on his list of things to do, albeit it's lower.
Surviving an encounter with Strahd. You can make your way back into the hovel that you are using for the evening to continue your rest, which goes by without any further issue. And as we come to the dawning of a new day, we will see just what adventures lie ahead for you all within our next session. So, thank you to our players for playing. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you to our viewers for viewing. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. I'll see you all in our next stream. Until then, you can head over to wieldawitch.com and check us out there. You can join us in our Discord. It's where you can jump into a game yourself or just keep up to date with, with our announcements. Follow us here on Twitch for any of our live streams or head over to YouTube for our VOD. But until the next one, it's a see you later.